a possible population crisis, and does the education system have anything to do with it? Welcome to the Rolon Show. My name is Ethan Rolon. This is my wife Jasmine, and we have a few things to talk about. First and foremost, starting with, is college a scam? According to Charlie Kirk, it is, because more than 50% of college graduates will never use their degree, and those who do, according to Charlie and according to certain statistics that he cites, those who do use their degree are most likely to be a lot more dissatisfied than satisfied with it. So that being said, any thoughts on that before we continue?
Um, I don't know. I think the most important part of anyone going into college, if you're thinking about it even a little bit, is knowing what you want to do. Are you going to need a college education?
Education.
I guess that's where college has gotten me. Is are you going to 100% need it, or can you get by through it in some other way, like
Can you get around it?
yeah, get around it, apprenticeships, different training videos, like different things. But if you need it, go for it.
Well,
I
and
guess is
another
what I'm trying
thing,
to say.
and another thing would be if you don't want to go, don't go. You know,
Yeah,
there's
don't
so
force
many
yourself.
there's so many people who either they get a free ride and they're just like, well, I might as well go because I'm not paying for it, which, you know, I don't 100% disagree with that. And then but at the same time, it's like, or you could spend that 4 years doing something that you truly want to do. You know, get your self-starter business going. You know, start a family, work in the trades, because you'd probably make a lot more money doing that than a lot of the jobs you could get with a college degree. And that's a hot take. A lot of people hate that. But I mean, I know people who went out of high school with a GED and they barely got that, and they're making $25, $26 an hour or more just off of a basic education because they went straight into welding, or they went straight into electrician, or being an electrician, or being a plumber. It's like, if you don't want to go to college, don't let somebody force you to. You know, I was told in school all the time, you need to go to college. You need to go to college. It's the only way you're going to succeed. You need to go to college. It's like we push this narrative, this agenda, I guess, this ideology maybe.
Yeah, that
We
might be the wrong
It's like we push this on our kids, and we guilt trip people for not going. It's like, if you don't go to college, somehow you're not as smart as the person who did. I've heard people use their bachelor's degrees and master's degrees as a way to prove their intelligence. And I go, well, just because you have a master's in psychology doesn't mean you know more about fixing a car. You know, it's like, it doesn't mean you're smarter just because you might be smarter in a certain place. And I think I would add on to the college is a scam thing by just saying, what has college come to? Where we were talking about this last week, where it's like we have OF stars and a bunch of these promiscuous girls going into classrooms and lecturing like it's a true art form, or like it's an actual profession, when reality is you're spreading your legs and putting a camera down there. I mean, there's no real profession to it. Maybe a little marketing, I'll give you that, but I don't see much else profession to it. And it's like, if it's this way for our generation, if it's this way for 20-year-olds now, what is it going to be like in 30 years?
20 more years? Exactly.
Yeah, it's like, what is it going to be like for our kids when they go to college, or when they want to go to college? And I mean, we've been indoctrinated so far that, I mean, if we don't change this, this is something that is going to turn into, I mean, so many women going to school, so many men going to school. Nobody wants to have a family, and at this point, we're almost dropping below the threshold. You know, more people are dying than people who are being born, and that's going to become a problem very soon here. Any thoughts on that?
No, I agree with the crude death rate is almost at the threshold of being higher than the birth rate of infants in today's day, and I think the stat was by 2030 the death rate's going to surpass the birth rate, and will basically be a dying society, for lack of better terms.
Well, North Korea is already pretty much there. I mean, it's said in the next 50, 60, 70 years, basically by the time this generation's done, there's not going to be any people to repopulate North Korea. I mean, that's actually a genuine concern right now. And it's like, people go, well, we're not there. We're bigger. We have more. I don't even know. There's like people make all kinds of excuses for why it's not going to happen to the U.S. It is happening. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, we've gotten to the point where it's like, and I don't think all of the accessibility. I think it's hugely because of the accessibility to porn. I think it's hugely because now you don't actually, and I know that was a really interesting segue, but I'm like, at the same time, it's makes sense to me because
Yeah.
we have in the U.S. essentially, it's like 1 in every 50 or 1 in every, I think it's let me look real quick. I think it's 1 in every 5 or every 50 women they have an OnlyFans account. It's like,
Yeah.
that's...
You don't need actual human interaction anymore because males or females or any females, yeah, they don't need to repopulate because they have themselves, basically.
Well, and it's every 1 in, yeah, so every 1 in 50 women have an OnlyFans account, whether it's for creating or consuming content. So that's alarming, given that the stats for OnlyFans, if I remember correctly, in 2019, it was like an overall year, they had 13,000 users or something like that overall. And then when 2023 came around and you look at the users for that year, and it's like over 300 million a month. All right, did I say 13,000? I meant 13 million. 13 million a year. And now it's gotten to the point where it's like 300 million a month. And that's insane to me because I don't think that's going to help us societal-wise. I mean, even if you could argue that it wasn't damaging society by having women, like women think they're more powerful, I would argue that, but we'll get on that topic in a minute. It's like, even if you can make the argument that it wasn't damaging society by limiting the amount of kids being had, you would still be able to say, okay, if you had a kid, would you really want them looking at your cooch in 13 years on the internet? Because that's what these women are doing. They literally don't care. They're like, well, if I have a kid, he won't see it. Yeah, well, what if, because I went to school with these types of kids. So it's like, what if some 13, 14, 15-year-old boy finds, okay, let's say, okay, for example, just hypothetically, you get on a site, you start producing content, or you start putting out content, and our daughter in, I'll say, 15 years, goes to school, and this 15-year-old boy happened to be on OnlyFans last night. And he found a picture that he recognized because he saw you at a freaking, I don't know, a school concert, a school track meet, a school event.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, you think your kid's not going to get made fun of for that? I mean, seriously, people, wake up a little. And when it comes down to it, the reason I say it damages the society in general as well is because these women think that they're powerful because of it. They really do. They think that they're so boss babe, I guess. Like they think that they're so powerful because they put pictures of their naked breasts on the internet. I mean, you're not powerful. The person who is buying that content, who do you think it is? 90% men. Who do you think is running those sites? It's not usually women. I'm not saying that all of them are run by men, but not usually women, that's for sure. So there's that. And even if the idea was conceptually women, usually it takes a little bit more than just one person to get something like that going. So it's like, yeah, you could argue that you're somehow sexually powerful. I disagree, because the only reason you're sexually powerful is because men desire you. If men didn't desire you, you would have no power.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and for the record, do you really think that you mean anything to anybody? I mean, yeah, there's some of these famous girls who have a lot of fans and make a lot of money, but as soon as if they turned off the camera for good and just never did it again, most men would live. They'd move on to the next girl literally within a few seconds.
Yeah.
It doesn't, I mean, you're not powerful. You're exposing yourself to mental and physical abuse, I think.
Yeah. And the statistics for the women that produce this kind of content are for mental illnesses and things like that are significantly worse than your average
Yeah, it's crazy.
person. They were I was looking them up today and they were not good.
No.
Like
Well, it's like 35 or 40% of them have like major, like clinical severe depression. Like they're taking 2 or 3 medications just for one little case of depression or something. It's like, that's, I mean, well, and then you think about it, it's like, all of these women, what do you think they're going to be? The ones who aren't having kids, who want to have an abortion every week and who want to just be promiscuous all the time up into their 30s. I mean, you think they're going to look, I mean, they're being run through. You think they're going to look as good 35 and 40 years old? No. I doubt it.
No.
And even if they did, they're going to be all alone, or they might have their rich, or even if they find a normal man, a lot of these women, I mean, Nala Ray was one of them. A lot of these women regret everything after the age of, 30 or 35 years old, because they look back and go, wow, this is my life. This is it. Yeah. I've done nothing but take pictures of my butt and put it on the internet. It's like, so yeah, I think that really does have, and it's easier for men to consume it that way. Men love mystery. Charlie Kirk said that a lot. Men love mystery. It's like, when you put yourself online, you're not going to have as many men chasing you, because they could just go online and look at your Instagram. They could just go on and look at your OnlyFans. They could just go, I mean, they don't need to get you. They have their hand. They have their hand in a picture of you. Why? They don't need you. It's like, I mean, you're just making it easier for, you make it easier for people to look at you. There's no mystery to it. I mean, go out on a date with somebody and they already know everything about you because they can look at your Instagram and see your little boobies flopping around online. It's like, they already know what you look like. There's no reason to want you to take your clothes off. They're just going to go home and look at it anyway. You say, no, I don't want to have sex tonight. They're going to go home and do it anyway.
Yep. At least that's what you
would
your
think.
Conclusion
You would think. Most men. I'm not saying all. I mean, I would like to think that I wouldn't do that, but at the same time,
you also don't 100% know because you're married.
No, I'm just like, it's been years since I've been in the dating pool, so
yeah.
But yeah, so I'm like, I think that society really is going to struggle the next couple of decades, because we've created, over the last 50 years, feminism has created boss babes. Liberalism has created this was one more thing I wanted to talk about. Liberalism has created this sensitivity that is beyond healthy. It is everybody is so sensitive, and we are taught in class, like in schools, in colleges, that if you hurt somebody's feelings, like there are colleges that have hate speech codes that say embarrassing somebody is against the rules. So, okay, if you have, if you're eating a hamburger or a cheeseburger and you get mustard on your shirt and it's a little embarrassing for me to come over and go, hey, did you just wipe that off real quick? Yeah, you got something. So that's embarrassing, so I shouldn't do it. Okay.
So you'd rather me walk around with my shirt having a stain on it than just someone pointing out and going, hey, you got some, like, you want to wipe that off?
And it's like when we stop talking, as Charlie always said, when we stop talking, bad things happen. And if you can't have a normal discussion, I mean, I went to her graduation ceremony last week, or like this week, and I just remember walking around, all these nice people. I love talking to people, I really do. I'm not going to judge you for being a liberal, for being a Democrat, or whatever. I think there's a difference between a liberal or a leftist extremist and a Democrat, so I'm like, I'm not going to judge you for being on the left, or even being on the right, because I'm not either. I'm right in the middle, honestly. I have a lot more conservative-leaning values, because that's the way I was raised, and that's the morals I have, and I'm a Christian. So yeah, I lean conservative, but I want what's best for this country, and indoctrinating people and saying we're not allowed to say that this is bullshit. Like, we're not allowed to say, oh, you have XX chromosomes. You are a woman.
Yeah.
You have XY chromosomes. You are a man. That is not offensive. It is true. You can't say you're gay? Really? I remember when that was like a common insult. Like, I literally grew up in, like, going through middle school and high school with people walking down the hallway just going, dude, that like, literally, you did something stupid, somebody would go, that's gay.
Well, it's not.
Apparently you can't say that anymore. That's offensive now.
Yeah, I don't think it was always used as an insult either.
Well, it doesn't
was
have to be
just
either.
like-
I'm just saying in general. Why is that offensive?
Mhm.
Even if it is an insult, why is it offensive? It doesn't have to be, of course. It can be. I mean, I know a couple of people who. I mean, Tony Hinchcliffe is gay. That dude's funny as hell. I mean, he really is. Like, so it's like, yeah, I don't have anything against anybody, but the fact that we can't speak up and say what we agree and what we disagree with, this is the end of democracy.
Yeah.
In its own right mind. And it's the end of our society if we can't talk. And I think that's my main thing. My main point is we need to, first and foremost, get rid of indoctrination in schools. Go back to pure facts. What really happened, not what we think, not letting teachers or college professors pick their curriculum, actually having a set, this is what really happened, this is what the historian said, this is in the books, this is in the records, this is what you teach. Not, I don't agree with Donald Trump, so I'm going to teach the opposite of truth.
Yeah.
Or I don't agree with Barack Obama or Joe Biden, so I'm going to teach the far-right extremist version of what I think should happen. Now, you shouldn't be able to choose your curriculum, in my opinion, and maybe that's a hot take. I think you should teach the facts. You should be able to choose your curriculum on the basis that you choose it based on what is. Alright, y'all, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this kind of content, drop us a like, leave us a comment, and subscribe for more. Stay chill. God bless. Peace out.